So, Sharni, the film actually screened a few years back in Toronto in the USA for a couple of festivals. So even though it's new for audiences, you've been living with it for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
What for you still holds up about the film?
The thing that holds up is that when we premiered it, it was Toronto, September 2011. So we're talking almost 2 years ago now. And it was just the most incredible screening. You know, this movie was made for that particular screening. You know, it was very much for the Midnight Madness crowd at TIFF. The movie was made for the horror fans, and it screened so well that we were just so excited that everything we'd hoped to achieve seemed to be coming across in that screening alone. And then to have this crazy waiting period with waiting for our time for the release of the movie, and for that to finally be here. We've had the opportunity to screen it at multiple festivals now, and even from the screening we had just a week ago at Comic-Con in LA, it's like the screenings never get old. It's really interesting. It's already like a timeless horror movie in a sense, because we've been screening it for 2 years, and the screenings just get better and better, if anything, you know, and the reactions still stand up as well today as they did back in September of 2011.
Sure. So is there a specific scene then that still excites you as much as it excites the fans now? Yes. Can't talk about it. You can't talk about scene.
It's all of the spoilers. So I don't know if I can really talk about it, but it's one of the last scenes of the movie that for me was just such a blast to shoot, because it's a three-way fight scene with myself, Nick Tucci, and Wendy Glenn, who was my roommate at the time, and for 5 years we lived together in Hollywood. So it's pretty cool.
That scene would have been a bit cathartic for you then, perhaps?
It was just, it was the best experience to kind of ship your life from Hollywood all the way over to Columbia, Missouri with your best friend, with your roommate, start again. And, you know, all it does is make for great chemistry on screen, because you're just best friends off screen. It's just almost too easy, too much fun.
So there was no underlying desire to beat up your roommate at all?
No, definitely not. But, you know, we have a fantastic still photograph now from on set where, you know, there's objects going into people's faces, and it's very gory, and it's a brilliant photograph that, you know, it's amazing to have these memories.
Yeah, the film is very gory and very action-packed. You're in like 96% of the film, you're on screen. Did your dance background transfer over, and did you find that helpful for the action and stunts you had to perform?
Yeah, really much so, and it's not even something you think about until it proves itself that way. But with dancing, you know, it trained in so many different styles of dance, which also then crossed over through Step Up 3D into areas of martial arts and capoeira and parkour and weights training, and just an overall physicality that dancers have, and a posture, I think, that they present that perceives a toughness. And, you know, it definitely does cross over. It's a really tight sort of business when you're talking physical. I've always had a passion to be a stunt woman as well, so I've always had a huge adrenaline and a passion for wanting to learn more and push myself beyond the limits. So anything that's physical, I'm on board with, and for some reason the dancing crosses over into so many aspects of action and different forms of physicality.
Sure. Now, I read that you were hoping somewhere that if you could embody Erin's character for the rest of your life, you would.
Right.
What things do you still carry with you from that character that you played those years ago?
So many things. You know, when I originally read the script, I was trying to find those parts that I already had in me that I thought I could naturally bring into the character of Erin, and then through the shooting process, I found parts that were her that then I could sort of put into me. And I think it's more just the fact that you know, she's not a girl that's, you know, standing there like trying to be tough or trying to be somebody that she's not. she's actually seeking normality and comes from quite of an interesting upbringing in being raised on a survivalist compound and things like that, you know. So she's actually seeking the opposite and just realness and love. And that's what she's come here in this family reunion to meet the parents of the guy she's in love with. And it should be so simple. And then before you know it, she's calling upon these crazy skills where she's going to have to, you know, really fight for her life or fight or die, you know. And I don't know, I think that's what makes it quite special, is that there's that blend of she's not a superhero with these, you know, superhero powers. It's just that she's naturally tough and she has to do what she has to do.
Right. And I understand too, originally the character was to be American and you auditioned as
American.
Yeah. But then after they incorporated your personality and your nationality into the character.
Yeah.
Was that a relief when that happened?
You know what? It is now.
Yeah.
It's now a relief. I'm so glad that Erin is Australian. So I'm really glad that they made that decision. However, as an actor in the audition, I had prepared it as an American and I hadn't even considered the role as an Australian. So coming into the room, I'd been speaking in an American accent all day, and I hadn't broken it yet. So when I walked in, I introduced myself to them as an American, and you know, they knew I was Australian, but I just find that until they hear it, they don't really question it so much. So I come in as an American, and then when they said, can we drop the accent and can you be you, just do Australian, I was thrown. And it was like this horrible Australian-American in-between accent that just sucked. And I walked out of the audition going, oh my God, that was terrible. Like, that was the worst audition I think I've ever done. And I was really upset because I really wanted this part. And then when I got the phone call, I was so happy that they had understood what I guess I was trying to do in that room. And it's weird because they say to this day it was one of the best auditions that they've seen, and I'm like, it was horrendous. But thank goodness someone was on my side there. So I'm really glad that we did stick to the Australian thing in the end.